So the problems facing working families, they're nothing new, but they are more serious than ever. And that makes our cause more urgent than ever. For generations, it was the great American working class, the great American middle class, that made our economy the envy of the world. It's got to be that way again. It was working men and women who made the 20th century the American century. It was the labor movement that helped secure so much of what we take for granted today. The 40-hour work week, the minimum wage, family leave, health insurance, Social Security, Medicare, retirement plans, the cornerstones of the middle class security all bear the union label. So my grandparents taught me early on that a job is about more than just a paycheck. The paycheck's important, but a job's about waking up every day with a sense of purpose and going to bed at night feeling like you've handled your responsibilities. And I carried that lesson with me all those years ago when I got my start fighting for men and women on the south side of Chicago after their local steel plant shut down. And I carried that lesson with me through my time as a state senator and a U.S. senator, and I carry that lesson with me today. And even though we've had 8 straight months of private sector job growth, the new jobs haven't been coming fast enough. I knew it would take time to reverse the damage of a decade worth of policies that saw too few people being able to climb into the middle class, too many people falling behind. I believe this with every fiber of my being. America cannot have a strong, growing economy without a strong, growing middle class and the chance for everybody, no matter how humble their beginnings, to join that middle class. A middle class built on the idea that if you work hard, if you live up to your responsibilities, then you can get ahead. That you can enjoy some basic guarantees in life. A good job that pays a good wage. Health care that'll be there when you get sick. A secure retirement even if you're not rich. An education that'll give your children a better life than we had. These are simple ideas. These are American ideas. These are union ideas. That's what we're fighting for. So the question is, how do we create the same kinds of middle class opportunities for this generation as my grandparents' generation came home to? How do we build our economy on that same strong, stable foundation for growth? Now, anybody who thinks that we can move this economy forward with just a few folks at the top doing well, hoping that it's going to trickle down to working people who are running faster and faster just to keep up, you'll never see it. If that's what you're waiting for, you should stop waiting, because it's never happened in our history. That's not how America was built. It wasn't built with a bunch of folks at the top doing well and everybody else scrambling. We didn't become the most prosperous country in the world just by rewarding greed and recklessness. We didn't come this far by letting the special interests run wild. We didn't do it just by gambling and chasing pay for profits on Wall Street. We built this country by making things, by producing goods we could sell. We did it with sweat and effort and innovation. We did it on the assembly line and at the construction site. We did it by investing in the people who built this country from the ground up, the workers, middle-class families, small business owners. We outworked folks, and we out-educated folks, and we out-competed everybody else. That's how we built America. In Milwaukee, that's what we're going to do again. And fighting to strengthen Social Security for the future. And if everybody is still talking about privatizing Social Security, they need to be clear. It will not happen on my watch, not when I'm President of the United States of America. And instead of giving tax breaks to companies that are shipping jobs overseas, we're cutting taxes to companies that are putting our people to work right here in the United States of America. I don't want to see solar panels and wind turbines and electric cars made in China. I want them made right here in the United States of America. And when the naysayers said, well, you can't save the auto industry, just go ahead and let hundreds of thousands of jobs vanish, we said we're going to stand by those workers. If the management's willing to make tough choices, if everybody's willing to come together, I'm confident that the American auto industry can compete once again. And today, that industry is on the way back. They said no, we said yes to the American worker. They're coming back. The battered construction sector actually grew last month for the first time in a very long time. Nearly 1 in 5 construction workers are unemployed. 1 in 5. Nobody's been hit harder than construction workers. It doesn't do anybody any good when so many hard-working Americans have been idled for months, even years, at a time when there's so much of America that needs rebuilding. So that's why, Milwaukee, today, I am announcing a new plan for rebuilding and modernizing America's roads and rails and runways for the long term. I want America to have the best infrastructure in the world. We used to have the best infrastructure in the world. We can have it again. We are going to make it happen. Over the next 6 years, we are going to rebuild 150,000 miles of our roads. That's enough to circle the world 6 times. That's a lot of road. We're going to lay and maintain 4,000 miles of our railways, enough to stretch coast to coast. We're going to restore 150 miles of runways, and we're going to advance a next-generation air traffic control system to reduce travel time and delays for American travelers. I think everybody can agree on that. Anybody want more delays at airports? No, I didn't think so. That's not a Republican or a Democratic idea. We all want to get to where we need to go. I mean, I've got Air Force One now. It's nice. But I still remember what it was like. This is a plan that will be fully paid for. It will not add to the deficit over time. We're going to work with Congress to see to that. But the bottom line is this, Milwaukee, this will not only create jobs immediately, it's also going to make our economy hum over the long haul. But there are some folks in Washington who see things differently. You know what I'm talking about. When it comes to just about everything we've done to strengthen our middle class, to rebuild our economy, almost every Republican in Congress says no. Even on things we usually agree on, they say no. If I said the sky was blue, they say no. If I said fish live in the sea, they'd say no. They just think it's better to score political points before an election than to solve problems. So they said no to help for small businesses, even when the small businesses said we desperately need this. This used to be their key constituency, they said. They said no. No to middle class tax cuts. They say they're for tax cuts. I say, okay, let's give tax cuts to the middle class. No. No to clean energy jobs. No to making college more affordable. No to reforming Wall Street. They're saying right now, no to cutting more taxes for small business owners and helping them get financing. I heard somebody out here was yelling, "Yes, we can." Remember that was our slogan? Their slogan is, "No, we can't." No, 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 no. I mean, I personally think "yes, we can" is more inspiring than "no, we can't." To steal a line from our old friend Ted Kennedy, what is it about working men and women that they find so offensive? When we passed a bill earlier this summer to help states save jobs, the jobs of hundreds of thousands of teachers and nurses and police officers and firefighters that were about to be laid off, they said no. And the Republican who thinks he's going to take over as Speaker I'm just saying that's his opinion. He's entitled to his opinion. But when he was asked about this, he dismissed those jobs as government jobs that weren't worth saving. That's what he said. I'm quoting, government jobs. Now think about this. These are the people who teach our children. These are the people who keep our streets safe. These are the people who put their lives on the line, who rush into a burning building. Government jobs? I don't know about you, but I think those jobs are worth saving. I think those jobs are worth saving.